What up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you see me, you know everything. Green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. I put it down, representing for my team. I'm in green and yellow.
Aaron Rodgers had one catch for 7 yards in his career. What gives you the confidence and trust with him late in a game like that?
Well, it starts with his preparation and the way he practices. You know, he's put together an impressive streak. You know, I think he was definitely a little disappointed to be released at the end of training camp. But, you know, he was back with us quickly and, you know, never let it affect his performance. I actually sit next to him in the team meetings, and we've struck up a pretty good friendship. The thing that got me was what you love as a quarterback, and that's when your receiver's coming back and telling you he wants the ball and what routes he wants to run. You know, the big first down we had to him on the out route, that was him coming back in the huddle telling me what play he wanted. And for a young guy to do that, how can you not have confidence in that? So Matt was between 1 or 2 plays, and I said, go with the first one because I'm going to throw it to Allen, and we're going to move the sticks, and we did.
What do you think of having all these tall receivers? Is that helpful to you at all?
Well, it can be. I think, you know, when they use their body, I was just actually watching as we were waiting the catch that Marquez had. You know, what an incredible catch over the shoulder. But he's a big, tall guy who can run. I think Allen, you know, can really get down the field. We've seen in practice. Again, he's made a ton of plays. I thought Mercedes obviously had 2 really impact plays for us, big plays. I thought Jimmy had a great catch there in the 4th. That was really important. I thought Jake made some plays. Obviously, Darius had a tough day, but, you know, he'll bounce back. Very proud of Jamal, you know, the way he played, especially after Jonesy goes out and scores 4 last week. You know, we get it back in the lineup, Jamal, and he rushes for 100. So it's pretty good issue to have.
Jamal was saying there was talk before you guys were telling him if they let you score a touchdown, just go down. Once you saw him kind of breaking free, were you confident that he still would? He was just saying he really wanted to get in the end zone. Oh,
I'm sure he did. He probably wanted to dance a little bit too. He's a good dancer, and he loves to dance. But we said in the huddle before, we've seen those type of plays on film in the situations. Obviously, they're out of timeouts. We can milk the clock. They're trying to let us score to get the offense, their offense, another chance. And it's still tough. You know, when that thing breaks wide open, natural instincts are probably to, you know, stick it in there and score. But he did the right thing and went down, and we kneeled it twice and gave it to Mace.
Lazard's praises throughout the offseason and summer. Were you A, surprised that he did get let go, and B, surprised that he didn't get picked up by somebody else and you were lucky to get back?
I was definitely worried he was going to get picked up because the production was there in preseason. And the body type, you know, there's just not that many guys like that who can run. Now, again, I go back to his mindset, I think was the right one, and as disappointed as he was, he didn't, you know, hold any bitterness and let it affect his preparation and the way he practiced. And sure enough, you know, he was back up quickly. And tonight, though, you know, as has been the case, you know, he hasn't been getting any reps. But I may have put in a good word there in the 4th quarter to get him some opportunities.
Aaron, what do you think tonight in the game-winning field goal meant to Mason in light of how the struggles affected him last year at Detroit? Being able to do that against the same opponent. I know he's had big kicks, but
yeah, he's had a bunch of big kicks. I don't think that was the most difficult game winner he's had over the years, but pretty special for him. You know, he's a fantastic guy. He's been through a lot this year, and we have a ton of confidence in him. Even after last year, and I said it after the game, you know, Mason is one of the best kickers I've ever seen, and we're fortunate to have him. I always tell people that, you know, him and Robbie kicking in the elements all these years. They're two of the most impressive guys I've ever seen when Robbie was in Chicago. And we're fortunate to have Mason. You know, he's just a great leader for us and very steady. He kicked, I think one of the field goals with the laces towards him, if you saw that one, which I know can mess with a kicker's kind of mindset as he's looking down and the laces are, not out. But that was some big kicks he had tonight.
Didn't your first Lambeau leap stink, and did you ever consider having somebody help you the way Mason did?
I didn't see the leap. Was it bad?
Hunter lifted, helped.
Oh,
Gave him a boost.
Well, the kickers aren't supposed to be the most athletic guys on the squad. I'm not taking a shot at Pat McAfee or the brand, but he's got a job to do and he does it well. I'll be looking forward to looking for that film of him trying to get up there. But the wall is a lot higher than you think when you get up to it, and especially after some elation and maybe running around a little bit, you start sizing it up and it gets a little steep there.
Can you recall a situation where you were that challenged at the receiver position, and how do you manage the passing game when you're in that situation?
Yeah, we had a game against Atlanta a couple years ago where I think we had 3 guys catch their first touchdown, maybe first or second touchdown in their careers that night. I think it was Geronimo, Jeff Janis, and Trevor Davis, yeah. So, it's about spreading it around. Obviously, we've been doing a lot with the backs and the tight ends. Like I said, Mercedes had a couple big catches. Jimmy had a big catch in the 4th. We've been trying to get the backs involved in some flare routes and some crossing routes. But, the most important thing is that those guys know multiple positions, because you had so many moving parts. When Shep was in, he was at the kind of the slot, and Allen came at the slot, and Shep came back in, so Allen went outside, and there was, a lot of gymnastics in the huddle at times. But, the guys executed well.
So, what were you thinking?
You said last week that you played as well as you did all year, even if the numbers may not look that way. Do you think you were as accurate as you were all year, even though sometimes there's a couple drop interceptions or drop touchdowns that were right on the money? Do you think this is as well as you've thrown it this year?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about some of the spots. A little behind Shep on the one. Obviously, we'd still like to come up with that one, but I feel good about my movement. I think their plan was kind of keeping me in the pocket for the most part, and kind of rushing their lanes and dropping a lot of 7-man stuff. They played a lot more too high today than maybe we expected, and we had to adjust. But I feel good about the movement, and we just got to come up with some of those.
There's 12 minutes ago, you just lost a really good scoring opportunity. You're down 2 scores now. What's the feeling? What are you feeling like your chances are?
Well, I feel like we still had a chance. I feel like we moved the ball well all night. We just hurt ourselves with some penalties, and obviously we turned the ball over. We started the game, and I have a drop on 3rd down, go 3 and out. Then we moved the ball 45 yards, and we fumble. And that was kind of the way it went. We moved the ball well. I think we had, well over 400 yards of offense. But so we had the confidence that we could move the ball. We just had to execute, and then obviously, with some of the moving pieces at receiver, just trying to put guys in positions we felt good about them coming down with the ball.
Aaron, when you say you may have put in a good word for Allen, like, is that something you go to Matt, or, Nathaniel's upstairs, so who do you go to on that?
I asked the receiver coach if 13 could come in for a little bit.
You started your comments about Allen by saying you put together some impressive streak. Can you explain what you...
Streak?
You said something about he's got an impressive streak going.
No, I think he's very well prepared. I think he practices really well, and he has a lot of confidence. Like I said, it was basically his first main action, and he caught a ball last year when I was concussed and not playing in the last game of the year. I think that was his one catch of his career. So a guy basically his second time really playing, telling me what routes he wants. I felt pretty good about where he was at confidence-wise.
I think you caught a couple breaks tonight. with officiating, the hands to the face, there was a non-interference call kind of late going down to the north end.
I think it equals out pretty good over the years.
Aaron, what could it do for your offense to win in another way, coming from behind today, and to win another game without Devontae, with other guys involved? What can that do for your offense later in the year, maybe more guys are coming?
Well, I think the key is that you're seeing guys gain a big chunk of confidence in games like this. Jamal Williams, the touchdown he scored, they had about 6 guys on that side of the field, and I'm not exactly sure how he got in, but a lot of confidence I think he's taken with him after the night. And then obviously with Allen, I said it this week in the production meeting, I think the most important thing that we've done on offense, and it starts with the staff, is really zeroing in on specific roles for players, because I think it allows guys to really buy into their part in the offense. Maybe no one bigger than Mercedes Lewis, a guy who most people probably in this room, wrote off after his kind of lack of production last year. He went through a rigorous off-season training, kind of changed his body at 35, which is pretty impressive to see. And now he has a legitimate role where he's a part of the offense. It's defined, and you've seen him make plays in that role, and I'm really happy for him because he deserves it. He's a great teammate.
2 more.
Was Detroit's coverage that good in a lot of those series the second and third quarter? You were in the shotgun a lot. What went into that decision?
Well, we wanted to run the ball at a shotgun a little bit, and I think we ran the ball pretty efficiently at times. They were dropping, 7 guys a lot of the night. Not really many pressure snaps. There was probably 1 or 2, and there were more delayed pressure stuff, other than the 4-minute part of the last drive. They covered them up pretty good. They got a good secondary. They were covering us up. Yeah, it's big. Obviously, last year we were so bad in the division, and this year to be 3-0 for the first time since 2012, Tom, thank you, is pretty fun. We know what's in front of us. We got a stretch now of we got 7 games out of division, and then finished with 3 in a division. So we got to put ourselves in a position, to make a run, and we've done our part so far in the division, because obviously our division is deep, and you got some really good teams.
You guys have such good starts in most of your wins here. From 30,000 feet, what do you think you learned about your team in a game where you didn't lead until the clock strikes 0?
Yeah, I think it was a character win. That's what I said after the game in the locker room. I just, what that means is that it revealed a lot about our squad, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I think, starting the game. Obviously, they hit a couple big plays, a flea flicker, and then another big pass down the sidelines, and they held up, in the red zone. I think they kicked 5 field goals. Is that right? A lot of those were red zone drives. That's huge. And the way they played in the second half was pretty impressive. I think they, held them to about 100 yards or so in the second half. And then offensively, and I feel like we've done this, a good amount so far starting the season, but we've finished the game well, and we had a good drive. Obviously, Philly, we didn't, but, an important drive, 6 minutes to take it down. And, again, you see the guys that are making plays. Jimmy had a big-time catch across the middle. Obviously, Allen had a couple first-down chain movers. We ran the ball, for 4 and 5 yards at times, and that was important. But, a lot of resilience with our guys. Matt talks a lot about kind of a no-blink mentality. I think that just means that you move on to the next play, and you have a short memory. That's important in this business. But cliches aside, it's really about the confidence. I think we were a very confident group. And even though we got punched in the mouth a little bit to start the game, I think we responded the right way.
Oh yeah. Young Moolah, baby.